Okay. So hi everyone, and thanks for taking the time to join us today. Things are a little bit different today in terms of what we're going to cover. Hoping to spend a bit of time focusing on one of the cornerstones of the IRP experience. That's the IRP support service and what that looks like and what that offers. Since I arrived, start of the year, the team's undergone some major changes. There's been shifts in personnel. We've had a very recent re-platform of the service desk. And there's been a general sort of refocus internally on how we deliver support and how we engage with you, our merchants, and our agency. We want to spend some time today looking at the work that we've done, talk about how you can sort of best utilize the service, and take a sort of sneak peek ahead as to what we have planned further down the road for support. For anyone that hasn't met me previously, I'm Andrew Rowan. I'm the head of support at IRP Commerce, and I'm joined today by a more familiar face in David Dixon, head of customer success. We've got a good number of things to get through today. We'll focus on putting names to faces in terms of the people behind support. Have a look at and a conversation around what we mean by support. Look at some of the achievements and accomplishments over the year so far, and spend a bit of time focused on the migration that we talked about, that move to the new service desk and portal. As always, we'll open the floor to questions. Would ask if you hold any questions to the end of the presentation. But yeah, with that, let's get started.
Perfect, Andrew. Thank you very much. I'd just like to introduce Andrew. Andrew is our head of support at IRP Commerce and oversees service desk, knowledge-based accreditation and training. Andrew's been with us since January this year and been a great addition to the team, and has really helped sort of enhance the support experience for you guys. Andrew's around 10 years experience working sort of cloud-based software companies across a range of sectors, and he certainly is your key point of contact for support and service desk escalations internally and externally.
And joining myself then, more recently over the summertime, we have Brendan and Joe, and these two guys, these form the core of what is the IRP technical support team. These guys are on hand basically to review any ticket submissions, both from agency and from our merchant base. Joe is a computer science graduate, has a background in servicing and supporting software solutions for a local charity. While as Brendan, he most recently graduated with first class honours in information technologies, and he spent a year's placement there working on a busy service desk for a pharmaceutical firm. We're confident that both these guys are young, they're enthusiastic to learn, and both of them have a core sort of technical skill set, and they should be on hand to assist with any wide range of issues that might come through the customer portal and into the service desk.
Perfect. And then we just want to kind of recover and what is IRP support, so everyone's clear of the functions that come as part of the platform. You have support, you have your account manager, but IRP technical support really is the service desk and the customer portal that comes along with that, alongside the knowledge base and IRP Academy, which is part of IRP World. These areas are core to helping you guys learn more about IRP, how the platform works, and we are continuing to invest in these resources where we can help you and offer improved training and ongoing support to the platform.
So starting off with the service desk and what will be familiar to users, the customer portal. These are likely the first things that come to mind when anyone talks about support or thinks about support. And essentially, it's core to what we do. Customer portal is that opportunity for our accredited system users to submit queries in the form of tickets to the service desk. Each ticket submission, I mean, obviously can be tracked until the point of resolution via the portal. It offers that opportunity for requesters to engage in conversation and interact with that technical support team that who we introduced there. All of those sort of technical issues and queries, where the IRP platform perhaps is not functioning as intended, or there are queries concerning system behavior that's not in line with perhaps what is documented on the knowledge base. All of those sorts of things, should be directed through the service desk and via the customer portal. I mean, that should be the bread and butter of the support experience.
And then moving on to sort of the knowledge base and our IRP world. So the platform is updated quite regularly, and always with latest updates and improvements that you all benefit from on a daily, weekly basis. We are actively investing in upgrading the knowledge base in terms of the content, and ensuring as releases go out, the knowledge base is kept up to date to ensure that if you go to the knowledge base as your kind of first point of call, it has the right and most accurate information there. And over time, we would hope that that will be able to answer the majority of your questions. Obviously, the support desk is always there in the background, but that self-sufficient knowledge base is critical to help us move forward. The technical support team will be responsible for keeping the knowledge base updated and relevant as the product grows and evolves. And the knowledge base should be indispensable for all IRP users. And we would encourage you to engage with it. And again, note areas you come across, ask questions. There is a peer support area as well that we are actively encouraging merchants to utilize.
And finally, then, under our sort of core pillars in terms of that support definition, we have the IRP Academy. And anyone, I suppose, who is more recently joined is perhaps more familiar with that in terms of it being a key system area in terms of you becoming accredited and familiar with the admin and the general functionality that the IRP platform provides. I think it's crucial in terms of establishing that sort of fundamental understanding of the platform and the tools that it provides. And what it does then by default is it ensures that any dialogue between ourselves, agency, merchant, is relevant, so that we're not spending time on areas that should be fundamental to your sort of use of the system. So having those accredited admin users ensures that use of time and support is as effective and efficient as it needs to be. On that point, similar to what we said with the knowledge base, I mean, it should be dynamic. That should be updated as and when new functionality is introduced to the platform, and that's something that the technical support team here will look to undertake and ensure is being updated in line with our knowledge base documentation.
And we just want to take a quick look at kind of a 2023 year review. Obviously, we're in September now, and we're coming into the kind of busiest periods for quite a lot of our merchants with the ramp up, the Q4. And November and December being a couple of critical months for the majority of retailers. From a support perspective, 2023 has been a year of change, from new faces and expanding the IRP support team, new processes, improved customer experience, and aiming to give a best-in-class support experience for our merchants, agencies, and account manager. In January, kind of when Andrew joined, support got a full kind of review, looking at what that ticket journey looks like, where the frustrations were with merchants, and how do we make this as seamless as possible. There was sort of surveys that went out to merchants and agencies to take your feedback, because it's an important service that it works well for use. And then over the months, we've reviewed this feedback, we've looked at our systems, and we've really improved that with a recent change over to the new portal. There's been a number of automations built in there so that if an e-commerce manager opens a ticket, an account manager is automatically assigned. A business owner or an agency or an AM can see all the tickets that the specific merchant has open. So really, the the main aim is it's all about transparency and efficiencies, to make sure that from your account manager to your e-commerce managers, it's very joined up and everyone knows what's kind of going on. And the sort of types we've moved forward to with the improved ticket journey is around the agent investigating. Awaiting your response is support staff have looked into it, and it's back with yourselves, waiting on further feedback. And then there's a couple of other statuses around third-party partner investigating, whether that's Interstoff or Global Payments. We are reliant on those for certain areas of the system. And again, we will add notes and relevant comments to ticket to keep you updated when we're liaising with third parties. If a ticket can't be solved by support and requires potentially development input, it will be tagged as development investigation. And again, this will keep you up to date with where things are in a ticket. Awaiting release means that it has moved to development, and a fix or a quick fix may be required. And if it's awaiting release, that will go out in the next release of the IRP release cycle, and then closed. The issue has been resolved and a resolution has been provided to yourselves.
Awesome. So speaking of just improving processes, improving efficiency, I just wanted to share some sort of internal metrics at this point, but perhaps something that further down the road that we look to communicate with our user base. But these are some sort of metrics that we've been sort of studying and looking at since the beginning of the year. The first of those being just our general ticket assignments. So whenever a ticket comes in the door, making sure that lands on the desk of one of the team here, and issuing an initial response. And by initial response, I mean a detailed response, an acknowledgement that we have received sufficient information from you, or perhaps the alternative that we need additional information, rather than just an automated your ticket has been assigned response. And I mean, encouragingly, 97% of our tickets received in over the calendar year have been responded to and assigned within, at 97% within the hour. On the other hand, then, in terms of that other end of the scale, in terms of ticket resolution, 89% of our tickets are resolved within 2 weeks, and that includes any tickets that have went down that development channel and require a release. Equally, any that have had to go out to our third-party partners. So we're encouraged by those. As I say, they're internal metrics at the moment. It gives you perhaps a flavour of things that we're sort of looking at whenever we talk about trying to improve internal processes and trying to improve those efficiencies, etc. On that hand, I mean, just a quick view of what the year to date has looked like. We're well over 1,000 issues or tickets reported via the customer portal to the year to date. Well over 900 reported, pardon me, and well over 1,000 resolved. So just a sign there of some of the work that's going on in the background.
This slide's around delivering success. So earlier this year, we kind of wanted to get more feedback, more interaction with our merchants through the support channel. And we enabled the customer satisfaction survey on all tickets. And we're delighted that the results so far have been 4.9 out of 5, and this is across all resolved tickets. Extremely grateful to those who have taken the time to provide additional commentary and feedback. It is very, very useful for our team to receive that, and would encourage everyone to continue to do so as we move forward, or anyone raising tickets. The feedback is crucial to helping the team determine what we're doing right, and crucially, where improvements need to be made. We hope to significantly increase the percentage of tickets that we receive feedback on, and would encourage you to do this when prompted. It only takes a few seconds, and it does help us a lot. Feedback can be left via closure notification, or on the customer portal, and it'll be automatically prompted as soon as the ticket is moved to resolve status. So currently about 12.5% of tickets get a feedback rating, and it'd be great to kind of get that up to 20%. But we certainly need your help on that, by actively giving your feedback, and whether it's positive or negative, we need to see it all, as it's the only way we will continue to improve the service.
Awesome. So as David alluded to earlier, a few months ago, we reached out to our key service desk and customer portal users across both merchant, agency, account manager level, and the idea of that was just to explore how customers currently engage with us and look at ways that we could further improve the service. Of that feedback, visibility and collaboration between merchant, agency, service desk, etc., was a common theme. And that together with feedback that we'd received earlier in the year, our own aspirations for the service desk and the customer portal, determined that a change was necessary, and that led us down that path of looking at the re-platform of the service desk and the customer portal. So a couple of weeks ago, Monday the 28th, seen us officially go live with the new customer portal and the associated service desk platform. For anybody that hasn't used that yet or engaged with us there yet, we would encourage you to do so and register. Whenever we initially migrated the platform and our key system users, we did issue a number of activation emails. Those activation emails would have provided a limited one-time link to basically activate, set a password for your account, and then that would then allow you access to the customer portal. Whilst uptake on that has been extremely encouraging, we are aware of some users. I know a couple of you I had on calls with me today around the activation email expiring. So what we're going to do after this call, for anyone that hasn't activated their account, we are going to reissue the activation emails for those users, and that should allow access. So we would encourage you to take that opportunity up, get signed up for the new portal. If you're a regular user who would engage with the support channel and submit tickets. But yeah, in terms of what the re-platform provides us, I think first and foremost out the bat is a more professional customer facing portal. It has a branded URL in line with any other IRP platforms that you would visit, such as IRP World, etc. And I think the look and feel of that is certainly more intuitive than what we would have previously had with our last provider. One of the big changes, I suppose you'll notice, especially if you are used to submitting tickets on a regular basis, is that we now use dynamic ticket forms, which essentially aim to capture the information that matters when it matters. And I'll talk here about some of the forms that we have there. So whenever you go in to submit a ticket, you'll see it in the screen grab there on the slide. We're asking how can we help you, and then we're further querying in terms of, do you want to report an issue in IRP? Do you need technical assistance with something, or do you need to ask IRP a question? In summary, the report an issue in IRP is generally where the IRP platform is not functioning as intended. So might include the likes of unexpected outcomes to workflows, error messages being met, system availability or general performance, things like that, essentially where the platform isn't behaving as one would expect. The technical assistance side of things should be used for instances where the system is functioning by design, but specialist technical assistance perhaps is required to assist with something maybe around a common report that you would use, or perhaps an issue that you have encountered with design or interface around CSS or HTML. And finally, questions, as I touched on there, these present an opportunity for you to ask us a question, particularly where something around general functionality is not already covered or resourced within the knowledge base. And we ask you on those. You'll see whenever you go in to ask a question, we will make reference to the knowledge base and have you checked it. And what that's doing in the background is it's affording us an opportunity to look at how many questions we've been asked, is the knowledge base being checked, and for us to flag those as areas for review, so that we're feeding into that narrative of a dynamic, ever evolving knowledge base. And a couple more little side points just in terms of the information we're able to capture. Shouldn't hopefully ever have a need for us to come back to you and ask which browser that you're using or what operating system you're using. All of that information is automatically captured from Freshdesk. Obviously, the only caveat is that you're submitting your request from the machine that you've encountered the issue on. But again, useful tools in the background that improve sort of our own efficiencies. On the portal side of things, there's an improved backlog view. So whenever you go in to view your existing ticket submissions, you'll notice that you've got greater functionality there in terms of the ability to sort and filter through those lists. You can export tickets should you so desire. And that leads me into, I think maybe David touched on it already, greater visibility of the tickets that matter. And by that I mean, are you a user who only needs to see your own tickets? Are you a user who needs to see tickets across the company, for you and for your colleagues? And equally that applies to the likes of our agency and account managers who will want to see tickets submitted by the merchants that they're acting on behalf of, and vice versa. And the portal gives us a much more intuitive way of doing that. We have refreshed the satisfaction survey slightly, so it's slight different look and feel to that, but ultimately, as David touched on, it functions exactly as before. It's a couple of seconds. It will automatically be prompted both via the email that you get issued when a ticket is resolved, and also via the portal. You'll have availability of it there. But yeah, I mean, they're just some of the sort of front-facing customer portal side of things. I mean, the platform offers us a whole host of functionality that will help us improve, background efficiency, general delivery of the service. I mean, one particular example is it's given us the tools to engage with our third-party partners in a much more streamlined way. So yeah, I mean, I would say watch this space in terms of where the portal goes next. It's just the beginning at the moment.
And then sort of contacting the support team, there is always a wee bit of crossover between sort of AM, CSM, and support. And it's kind of we've moved forward this year with the training webinars and kind of the CSM side, educating merchants. We do need to have sort of clear lines and ensure users are able to contact the support as quickly and as neatly as you need to. So the three kind of key things for support are, first and foremost, you have the customer portal to raise tickets. By creating the ticket, you provide all the information that a support agent needs for them to investigate the ticket, come back promptly and provide a resolution. The second area is the knowledge base. Is it something that can be solved by yourselves? Just find out a bit of knowledge. And then the third one is the IRP support line. So we do have direct telephone access to the support team, and that should always be used as an emergency. Really, it's like you need to speak to someone, you need something solved right now, and the support line is the best way to get that.
So as I touched on at the end of the migration to the new portal there, I mean, the improvements don't necessarily stop there. Okay, we've made the move. We're happy with what that's offering us, but it's really just the beginning of an effort to improve all aspects of that service. And I mean, we continue just to do work behind the scenes here on the service desk, basically to further improve what we do in that relationship we have with you. As I say, out of the box, it offers an entire suite of tools and untapped potential. So, I mean, we've got the basics set up there, but don't be surprised to see perhaps over the next while improvements to the layout and the design of the portal. Perhaps we look to maybe share the likes of those metrics that we talked about earlier in the presentation, and we see further automations around some of our internal processes, whether that's automatically issuing chasers to the likes of our third-party partners or development teams. So there's a whole host of changes that will likely come in down the line. A lot of it perhaps behind the scenes, but anything that affects you directly from the customer portal side of things, we'll obviously communicate ahead of time. As we talked about, knowledge base and IRP Academy, both two pillars of the support service, the support platform. So as we alluded to, that ownership of that is with the technical support team. So I mean, look forward to hopefully more dynamic sort of content there, content which is being updated in line with system releases, where there's new functionality brought in, there's dedicated articles provided for that, and also existing articles updated in line with those. That's the aim behind that. And similarly with the Academy, taking a review of the accreditation process, of the areas that we're looking to accredit our users in. Is it relevant still? Is there new functionality? Is there dated functionality that needs removed? So that's going to be crucial over the next while, that we start to review and pay a bit more attention just to the content available there. But I think as we've touched on at numerous points, I mean, your feedback is crucial. Part of the reason that we enable the satisfaction surveys, we do issue the satisfaction surveys on every ticket that's resolved. So your engagement there is crucial, and it's crucial to the success of the support services that we provide.
And we're just coming towards the end of the presentation, but we thought we will share the presentation on the webinar with everyone afterwards. We just thought it'd be useful to kind of give you a few links and resources directly to IRP Support Portal, the knowledge base, the Academy. There is a document in the knowledge base that's getting started with the new portal. I would recommend everyone kind of take a quick scan of that, just to make sure they're fully up to speed. And the direct support line is there as well. So always just make sure you have that saved or easily accessible for emergencies or needing to contact the support team. For any users who are having issues accessing the portal, Andrew and I are going to take a run through and look at maybe who hasn't activated yet, and we will be issuing new activation links in the next day or so. So please keep an eye out for that, and any issues, contact your customer success manager, and we'll get you sorted there. I would just like to thank everyone on the call for taking the time to join today's webinar and learn a wee bit more into the support team and the great work that goes on behind the scenes. If you have any questions at this stage, Andrew and I will be happy to answer.
You're being kind.